guys, it is Jaden and our resident expert Caleb here with Fantasy Tomorrow. And as most of you know and we know, not everybody's season ends in week 16 and week 17 gets pretty crazy. So we are here to help all of you guys that are going into championship matchups this week, okay? I guess the first thing that we should really just kind of get off the table, since it's new to since it's a question we don't have to normally ask, is there any teams, Caleb, that might be okay with sitting their starters?
Yeah, so first off, the Chiefs. They're the only team right now that for sure is going to be resting some of their starters. Andy Reid came out on Monday and said that he's be resting at least a few of the key starters, and that's because they clinched the first round bye, so they don't have anything to play for. It's good for them to get some rest and get healthy. But I wouldn't be surprised if also the Steelers and the Bills also were resting some of their starters this week. They don't really have much to play for other than playoff seeding. They can't really do anything other than switch places with each other for the 2 and 3 seeds in the AFC playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just take this chance to sit some of their starters, get healthy, and be well rested for that wild card round of the playoffs. And then also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they clinched a wild card spot. I don't think there's really too much moving they can do. They can't go and get the division title from the Saints. The Saints have already clinched that. And they can't really fall out of the playoff contention either. So they're in a really good spot where they should be able to rest their starters as well. But everyone else in the NFC should be playing whoever they have. I know that the 1 seed is still up for grabs in the NFC, so there's definitely going to be a lot of contention for that. So really not as many as I actually thought that we would see this week, which is good for fantasy football.
There you go. And now it's time to dive into what we normally go over in this video. So Caleb, are there any quarterbacks we should be looking to pick up off the waiver wire this week?
Yeah, so first off, Kirk Cousins for the Vikings. He's on a lot of waiver wires, and he's just been a really reliable streamer all year long. He's going up against the Lions this week. I just really like that matchup. We saw what Tom Brady was able to do against the Lions last week. He was just playing out of his mind. And I think Cousins is going to be able to do similar things. He's not Tom Brady, but he definitely can put up solid fantasy numbers. So if you need a streamer, he's definitely a guy to go after. Then also Mitchell Trubisky, if you're in a deeper league. He's been really good and really solid since returning as a starter for the Bears. And he's going up against the Packers. It should be a fairly high-scoring game. And the Packers' defense really shouldn't scare anybody defensively. I don't think this game is going to be played in the middle of a blizzard this week either. So it should work out well for Trubisky.
Okay, and are there any running backs we should be looking to pick up?
Yeah, so there's quite a few, and some of these are due to potentially the starters sitting out this week on some of those teams. But we'll start off with A.J. Dillon, who really broke out for the Packers this past week. He is just absolutely incredible. And he's kind of supplementing Aaron Jones right now. Jamal Williams is hurt, so Dillon's kind of filled in that Jamal Williams role. But Aaron Jones has also been a little banged up at times this season. I think that the Packers are probably going to want to get him all well rested for the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dillon took quite a few snaps for the Packers. He's definitely worth a grab. And then also Keyshawn Vaughn for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If the Buccaneers decide to rest their starters, I think Vaughn will get a lot of the touches instead of Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones. I think Vaughn could have a really big day. He's definitely worth a pickup. Malcolm Brown for the Rams is also somebody that you should pick up. Due to Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson both having ankle injuries, they're both banged up right now. I think that you should go grab Brown. He's going to get the lion's share of the touches for the Rams. Now, Darrell Williams for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, he's somebody that could definitely benefit if the Chiefs do rest all of their starters, and if they decide to rest Le'Veon Bell as well. We saw that in this last game against the Falcons that Williams ran better than Bell, and he looked really effective at certain moments. I think that the Chiefs are going to have a very run-heavy game plan going into this game with Chad Henne as the starter instead of Patrick Mahomes. They won't be throwing the ball as much, and I think Williams can definitely benefit from that. And then finally, Gus Edwards for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are just running really well. They're starting to look more like that team that we saw last year, and Edwards has seen a majority of the touches in the backfield for the Ravens. So I really think that he could exploit this matchup against the Bengals and really deliver a solid fantasy day.
Okay, so let's go on ahead and look at wide receivers. Who should we be looking to grab?
Yeah, so there's only a couple this week. I mean, wide receivers has just been so iffy, and we know if we're looking for people right now in Week 17, we need sure things. And the only couple of sure things that are available on waivers are likely Nelson Aguilar for the Raiders. He's been by far the most reliable Raiders receiver this season. He's just really put up some really solid numbers, including last week, and I definitely think he's worthy of a start if you do need a wide receiver. And then also Michael Gallup for the Dallas Cowboys. He had a really big game. He seems to have a connection with Andy Dalton, and he has a good matchup this week as well, going up against the Giants. I think that he should be able to do quite well as a receiver this week, so you can pick up either of those two guys.
And what about tight ends?
So, yeah, I mean, again, tight end's such a wasteland, but looking for anybody with upside. So, Jimmy Graham for the Chicago Bears, he's worth a look just based on how many looks he gets in the red zone. He's just a touchdown scoring machine. He seems to really be the person that Trubisky is looking for when they get close to the goal line, so he's definitely worth a look. And also Zach Ertz for the Philadelphia Eagles. He could definitely be worth grabbing if Dallas Goedert has to sit out this week due to his injury that he sustained this past week. So I definitely think Zach Ertz could have some value for you as well.
And now, what defenses should we be looking to pick up this week?
Yeah, so first off, the Cardinals, they're going up against the Rams. Now, this game is going to be interesting because there's potentially both quarterbacks are going to be out due to injury. That means that Jared Goff for the Rams won't be playing. The Rams' offense has looked really bad the last couple of weeks, and that was with Goff under center. I think they won't look any better with the backup in there. And I think that the Cardinals could really just take advantage of that. The Cardinals aren't a great defensive team by any means, but they are getting some pressure on the quarterback right now, and I think that could definitely translate into some fantasy points for your defense. Then also the Chargers. I wouldn't normally tell you to play a defense going up against the Chiefs, but with the Chiefs playing all of their backups this week, it's definitely intriguing to pick up the Chargers and slot them in. I don't think Chad Henne necessarily scares anybody, and I think this game could be relatively low scoring. The Chargers usually play the Chiefs pretty well, and I think they could have a pretty good day defensively against the Chiefs B team.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. Go out and enjoy the last week of regular season and win your championship lineups, okay? We know this week is kind of weird, so just listen to Caleb's advice and bring home that W, okay? Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe as well. It means so much to us. And with that, we are going to say see you later to Caleb and let you guys know that this is Fantasy Tomorrow, where we're giving you the information to learn today and win tomorrow. See you guys next week.